Hey y'all, Jimmy D here, hiking through segment 13 of the Mountain to Sea Trail. I'm going to take a walk through the Naval Stores exhibit area. This is in the Turnbull Creek Educational State Forest area, and it's about 5 miles past White Lake. Let's go take a look. So here's the little guides that you can grab, and I just opened it up. It's products of the naval store industry. Shows you all the different things that the harvested longleaf pines were used for. Lumber, tar, pitch for the old boats, turpentine, rosin. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. There's just a little display. Shows naval stores in North Carolina, and just talks about how the pitch was used for waterproofing between the planks of the ships, the planks that the ships were made out of. Just shows you that. And then just shows you what some of the products it's made into. Then over here, I guess they do some classes here. You can see there's benches, but that's old turpentine still, and you can see it was actually donated by somebody from Hubert, and well, it was owned by somebody from Hubert, and then it was donated by somebody from Trenton, North Carolina. I live in Swansboro, so Hubert's right down the street. A lot of people from Hubert say they're from Swansboro. But yeah, that's the turpentine still. And then we'll go over there next. That just shows the heavy equipment working. What they're doing is the stumping. So you can read that if you'd like to. And that's just a pile of old stumps. And that's just a painting of showing you how they would get the raw product by taking off the bark of these longleaf pines, and then they would basically let the gum just ooze out. And there's a sign explaining it. And back there it just shows you the tools, the old methods, the new methods, and you can see how it's got the bark scraped, then hacked, and then they have on the right side, you can see how they got the little pan to collect it. And looks like they have an old or new, yeah, you see how it's scraped, and then it would ooze into there. You can see it says that this depression was once a tar keel or tar kiln, and you can read about it right there. And that's the depression they're talking about right there. And then back over here, you can see where the tar kiln was. I just pressed the button on the thing that was actually speaking and telling the whole story, so you can still hear it in the background. Yeah, so that explains how the tar kilns were built. And here's just a painting of one. Yeah. So, it's pretty cool. Yeah, there's so much to see on the Mountain to Sea Trail. There's so much history in North Carolina. So, for any hikers that are looking for a pretty decent hike, it's 1,175 miles. It's not as far as the Appalachian Trail or Pacific Crest Trail or the Continental Divide. It's very flat on the eastern side. We're in segment 13 right now. There's 18 segments to the Mountain to Sea Trail. The 18th segment is the Outer Banks, which is beautiful. And segment 1, where it ends, is at Clingman's Dome. So this is the historic house that was built in 1760 by the Revolutionary War Colonel James Richardson. It's the one back there. This was built in 1760. This is actually one of the oldest surviving houses in North Carolina. And this is at the Harmony Hall Plantation Historic Site. Can't go back there right now because it's closed. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more for you all. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Yeah, and then they got some other stuff. There's the gatehouse. Looks like there's a little shop over there's a garbage can, so they must sell food there during the day. And then as we walk out, there's some other buildings I'll show you. So I'm not sure if that's the area, but for MST hikers, you can actually camp here. There's no potable water, but you are allowed to camp here. You just got to let them know. Here is the Earl Tatum store. This was reported to be built in 1890s. And says that it was operated until 1965. And yeah, you can read that. So that's the Earl Tatum store. Pretty cool. And still, we're on the plantation here. I'm just going to be showing you a few more things. We got the chapel, and then there's another old house, and then I'll show you guys the front gate. So it's the Harmony Hall Chapel. Here's the church bell, chapel bell. And right up on the door, you can see the whole write-up about it if you'd like to read it. Okay, moving on. There's another old building over there on the other side, right across from the chapel. There's no placard or anything on that one, but yeah. And this says this was the Collie District number 41 school in 1888. It was restored in 1992. Wow. Sign's a little torn up, but if you zoom in, you'll be able to read it. The whole history of the Collie District number 41 school on the plantation. And I'm saying plantation because that's what they call it. That's pretty cool. This is outside the school right here. Look at this, I get to actually ring. That's pretty cool. And I guess that's what happens to old buildings when they finally fall down. That one doesn't have a placard. All right, and I guess that's the caretaker right there, so I'm gonna get away from her house. So it says that's the Wanda Campbell Cottage. I'm thinking she's probably the caretaker or something like that. So again, this was the Harmony Hall Plantation, circa 1760. And right at the front, there's a general store with, it's the visitor center. So if you do get here when they're open for hikers, they might have some snacks, who knows. But you'll see this sign right on the road as you're coming down. And then one last thing, we'll get the placard on this one that you can read. And there you go. So I guess it used to be called the Suggs General Store. Now it's the visitor center. Oops, sorry about that. There you go. All right, y'all, happy hiking.